Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Brett Stetka with Medscape. Welcome to another edition of The Week That Wasn't. This is our new video series looking at medical and health studies that you may have seen out in the world or on social media, but that for one reason or another Medscape did not cover. So let's get to it. The first study we're looking at today comes from the journal BMJ Open, and it's one of the first studies trying to correlate trips to the emergency room with Google search activity. They looked at the searches of 119 patients right before they went to the emergency room, and they found that over 50% of those patients tried to search their symptoms before going in. One patient, for example, Googled how big is a walnut shortly before Googling what is a fibrous tumor. It turned out that the patient had a medical history of a walnut-sized fibrous tumor. So one lesson here could be that the patient's physician wasn't communicating too clearly if the patient didn't, one, understand what size a walnut was, and two, what a fibrous tumor is. And one caveat here is this study did not include data on life-threatening emergencies like gunshot wounds, since presumably patients would know to go to the hospital if they've been shot. So, while not worth its own news story, we did think this was an area of research worth considering, and we'll keep an eye out for more in the area. All right, moving on. Second study here comes from Switzerland. The study looked at the correlation between language acquisition and sleep, and it turns out that the human brain is capable of learning foreign words while we sleep. The researchers presented or played foreign language words and their in-language correlates to patients while they took an afternoon nap. And it turned out that once they woke up, they maintained those language correlations and remembered the foreign word. This is the first evidence of its kind looking at language acquisition in deep sleep. We should note that these findings are in contradiction with a number of other previously released studies suggesting that this is not possible, so I think we need to see more findings before we leave the Duolingo app on while we sleep. And the researchers noted that their findings might suggest that sleep could be more productive. But is that what we really want? I'm looking to be less productive when I sleep. Our last story comes to us from the Maverick State. Conservative lawmakers in Arizona are trying to make it easier for parents to get non-medical vaccination exemptions for their children. Dismissing advice from public health experts, these lawmakers have pushed through a series of bills, the most controversial being Bill HB 270. This bill lifts a provision requiring parents to seek approval from the state health department to opt out of vaccinations for their kids. And experts warn that, of course, in doing this, we may be increasing the risk of, large-scale epidemics of communicable diseases. Meanwhile, sites like Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube are actually trying to make it more difficult to disseminate anti-vaxxer information online. Additionally, the WHO has named the anti-vaccination movement one of the largest public health threats globally. So it's an interesting juxtaposition between these two areas of philosophy around this. And that's it for today. For Medscape, I'm Dr. Brett Stetka, and thank you for watching The Week That Wasn't.